What is good, everybody? Opsec here, and today I'm going to give you my thoughts on Bitcoin. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So, as a smart money trader, the way I trade, I always look for the liquidity. I understand that there is a losing party and there is a winning party to every direction price moves. Now, I don't want to get into any conspiracies, but I'm just going to put it like this, just facts. So, the losing party is typically the average retail trader. Okay, the average retail trader, according to statistics, they are the losers. Okay, they are the ones that are always losing. I don't know why. I'm not going to get into why, but that's just what happens. That's just the fact of the matter. They're losing. So, what is my strategy? How do I know where price is going to go? The way I know where price is going to go is by trusting that statistic, right? So I'm going to just trust that their logic is going to fail. I will look what they think, and then based off that, I'm going to establish counter theories. So that is how I call this bottom. That's how I call this bottom. All live, publicly done YouTube videos. You can go ahead and watch all of those videos. I did that publicly. And that's how I'm about to call what's going to happen now. Okay, so this is how I trade. This is how I beat the markets. So, with that being said, what is the first thing I do when I approach a chart? The first thing I do when I approach a chart is I mark out the liquidity. Now, how do I find liquidity? The way I find liquidity is by understanding what everybody is thinking. Now, you must now think, that's so arrogant of you to say. How can you know what everybody's thinking? Let me tell you something. What everybody's thinking is not a secret. If everybody thinks that 1 + 1 is 2, then everybody's going to know that 1 + 1 is going to be 2. So, yeah, get the fuck out of here. But, okay. So, right now, everybody is looking at this resistance. Okay? How do I know that? Because I know what everybody's thinking. Yeah, I have magic powers. I have superpowers. I know what everybody's thinking. Okay? I have that superpower. So, everybody right now is looking at this resistance. Okay? You can look at Twitter. It's just the most obvious thing, right? Everybody's looking at this resistance and they're all looking for price to dump from here. Some of them are calling levels as extreme as 10K, but I think most of them realistically are aiming for either this low or the bottom. Okay? So that is what I think that everybody's thinking. Now, if that is correct, then all of the theories I will establish here will have a little bit of truth to them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to mark out is going to be the first high above this resistance level, the first swing high above that. You see this high? That's what they're going to use as their invalidation. So if we get above that high, they're going to be stopped out. And that's when they're going to flip bullish. Okay? So this high is going to be their invalidation. So that's going to be our buy side liquidations. Okay, buy side liquidations. Now, I'm just marking out liquidity over here. So let's do it when that matter to us right now. Okay, now we need to focus on sell side. Now that we understand the buy side, we want to make sure that we're not sell side. So we understand that price is going to be magneted to this level. Why is it going to be magneted to this level? Because everybody who is shorting here cannot be profitable according to statistics, right? If the statistics are true, then we have a 90% probability that the people who are shorting over here are not going to be profitable according to statistics, because that's the average retail trader. Okay, so I know the statistics, what I'm saying is not necessarily 100% true, but because you could argue that the statistic is a little bit different, but whatever, you get the point. So according to statistics, the odds are that the people who are shorting here are not going to be profitable. Now, to me, it's a bit more than just statistics. It's to me, it's for sure that they're not going to be profitable, but you can look at it however you want. Right. Next thing we have is this obvious support level that everybody's looking at. This is what all the bulls are looking at. They're all waiting for this. All of the bulls are waiting for the support level. And their invalidation is obviously going to be this low. Why? Because that's the first low under that. Now, if we go under this low, then we're also going to be at a support level over here, and the first low under that is this low. So if we are so for that reason, I established this theory that if we are going for these liquidations, we have to run away from all of these buyers. Why do we have to run away from all of these buyers? Because if we come back here, then we have to come back here, then we have to come back here, which means we have to come back here. So if we are indeed going for this, we're going to have to run away from the buyers, and it's going to be a low resistance liquidity run, as you're seeing now, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. That is my main thought right now on Bitcoin. So right now, my main thought is that we will get above this level. That's the weekly chart. Now, on daily chart, I have different levels, and I will show you those levels. Okay, so 1 day chart. On the daily and the 4-hourly chart. So on the daily chart, there's also this level, support and resistance. People bought here. You know, it's not always that all of retail is going to be unprofitable, but it's going to be most of them. So some of retail is always going to be profitable, and that's fine. So right over here, some of retail is going to be profitable. Those who bought here, they might be profitable. I'm not saying they're not going to be profitable. They might be profitable. Yeah, some of retail is always going to be profitable. You can't make it so all of them are not. You can make it so most of them are not. So the way I trade is just finding out what most are doing and counter trading what the most are doing. Not finding out what a small few are doing. I don't care what a small few are doing. I care where the bulk of the liquidity is. So the bulk of the liquidity is buy side right now. Why? Because all the bulls are waiting for this. If the bulls got this, then the bulk of the liquidity could be shifted to the sell side perhaps. But right now, the bulk of the liquidity is just not there. The bulk of the liquidity is up here. And for that reason, to me, this level is guaranteed. And I am very bullish towards that level. It's currently 13%, 14% from where price is at right now. So the people who bought here do not necessarily have to get stopped out. Yesterday, we had a raid into this fair value gap. I actually caught a long over here, but I closed it because it was just a scalp. But maybe I should have left a partial on because it was a 100x leverage. But yeah. So right now, what do we see over here? So here, we got this support level. So there's some sell-side liquidity here at this level over here. Where else is there sell-side liquidity? There's sell-side liquidity at this low. Why this low? Because that is the first low under this support and under this support. Well, you can use it like as this previous high. But then again, if this comes into play with the weekly analysis, that if we come to this area, then it's going to trigger a chain reaction, taking us all the way down, which is not going to happen, assuming we're going to 32K. So I'm not even having my eyes on this area right now. I'm not looking at this area. This area is not what I'm looking for. Not at all. So with that being said, this is likely to be a bottom. And I think we're likely to run up to there. And we also have a resistance right now over here. So I think right now we're just likely to just see expansions nonstop. This is a reaccumulation before another expansion. And I think most of the volume here is shorts and not longs. I don't think many people long this. I was one of the few who did. And I closed my position at 28.5. I entered pretty much at 28.6, 26.6. A spot long, and I close it there. It's 28.5. But yeah, right now I think I might reopen some spot to target up here, because I don't think we're gonna be coming back for any lows. I think it's just gonna be a straight run all the way up there. Now with this being said, I mean, yeah, I think that's just the most likely scenario. I'm not going to say I'm as confident in this as I was over here, right? Because over here, it was just mega clear and there was nothing else that could have really happened. But in this case, this is a more complex case that I really had to break down from the weekly down to the daily, and there's also some more to see at the full hourly chart, which I'm not going to get into because that's not going to be relevant for very long. But yeah, this is just a little more complex case, and I trust that I am right about it, but we will see. My intuition is typically right about this type of stuff. Now, what is going to perform better, Bitcoin or ETH? So first, let's start with the Ethereum chart, and then we'll go into the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So let's go ETHUSD. So don't mind that. That's an analysis from when I was a noob. We all been there. So right. So let's start with marking out the obvious levels. Right, so ETH, we got this obvious level. Then we also have this obvious level. Then I think there's this. Am I missing this wedge or something? Nope. Okay, well, yeah, there's that, and then there is anything I'm missing? Okay, now I think I'm just gonna focus on these two because I think this is what most people are looking at. Just yeah, okay, so right now, let's see. So we have, is that a support? No, okay. I'm really showing you my thought process, so I hope you guys appreciate this. Right, so on the weekly chart, it looks like we are running for the buy side liquidity, tapped into a fair value gap right over here. Looks like we're running for the buy side liquidity. Where is that buy side liquidity? Look at this resistance. What's the first high above that? Over here. So even though we are above the resistance, they're not bullish until we get above this high. So this high is going to be our buy side liquidations. That's going to be the buy side liquidations. Sell side liquidations, I don't think anybody is long here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any reason for anybody to be long here, so I'm honestly not seeing any sell side liquidations on the weekly chart. They're all like taken, right? So I mean, obviously there are some, but there's nothing like major, right? I don't see the masses in any long position over here. Because here you would be bearish if you're thinking with retail logic. Then here you might be bullish, you might be bearish, but you would definitely have been bearish once we broke this low on the daily chart. Yeah, I'm gonna go down to the daily. I think this is all we have on the weekly. So on the weekly, we're obviously gravitating towards this level, which is our buy side liquidations. Which is currently 11% away from where we're at, versus Bitcoin, which is 14% away from where we're at. So based off this, it looks like Bitcoin might outperform ETH short term. Right, let's analyze the daily. I think the daily is going to give us a better view on this. Right, so on the daily chart. So on the daily chart, there is this support level. Now, we consolidated at it, then we got above it over here with that, and then that would be the first low under it, and we manipulated that, and now we're running away. Now, I think some people might have had their stop here, so there could be sell-side liquidations here. But as I said, it's nothing of significance relative to the buy side, so I think Ethereum is just like Bitcoin, ready to run up. And I think Ethereum is likely to draw all the way up to 2188. Right over there. That's going to be the likely draw. That's the first fair value gap on the daily chart, which is currently 20% away from where price is at. Now let me go ahead and look where that is on Bitcoin. Right over here. This place, which is like 14% away from where price is at. So ETH might, from that aspect, from that regard, maybe outperform Bitcoin a bit. Now the real data mining factor is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. So let me get on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Let's go on a blank one. So the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Let's go on the weekly. So I'm just going to focus on this frame because we have a lot of data over here, right? So at this point, once we broke the structure, obviously everybody was bullish. Their final invalidation were these equal lows. That was the final invalidation. Now, once we came down here, everybody was obviously bearish. And what was their invalidation? Well, you have quite a few. So for one, there would be this high being a resistance level, and the first high swing high above that, which is here, is gonna be the absolute invalidation. So that is an invalidation. Secondly, you also have this support level, which flipped resistance. First high above that, which is right over here, which was the buy side liquidation, is also a double top pattern and bearish structure. So that got cleared, but this is not their absolute invalidation, so they're still bearish over here. Then we had a bearish structure break. Now they all look to sell. There's also, and well, there is on most shorts, there's a nice bearish trend line right over here. On the Binance chart, there's a nice bearish trend line. And then over here is a support, which just got demolished, and right now we are at a support, so I think we ought to go a little bit lower. Yeah, I definitely think most of retail is bearish on this, and they're all shorting. They're all in short positions to target this low, and for that reason, I don't think that this low is going to get cleared. Not yet. I think that we are likely to gravitate up to this high. I think that's going to take some time, though. And I'm not sure from where. I think we can even go as deep. I think we can even go as deep as down to here. That is possible. Or that we could completely fill in this. I just know that once it bottoms out, when it bottoms out, it's going to be clear. We're going to know once it bottomed out. And once it bottomed out, then it's going to be altcoin season, because Ethereum and altcoin is going to be outperforming the shit out of Bitcoin. And that's going to be, from current price, that's about 40% outperformance. So yeah, that could be an altcoin season. If we're bullish on Bitcoin when that happens, then that could be altcoin season. So, but short term, if we have a bit deeper to go, deeper to dig, which makes sense, then I think Bitcoin is going to be the better option to take a long at, rather than Ethereum. I think Bitcoin is going to do a bit better. Let's go down to the daily chart, see if there's anything, or full already chart. So on the full already chart, let's see. On the full already chart, we have all of these lows over here, which are obviously liquidity. Hunted liquidity with this wick, but that's a wick, so it didn't interact with all of the orders. It only interacted with a few of them. Then we had a dip over here. I think most of them are bullish here, and this reaction, they're chasing price on this reaction, so I think it's ought to give us something like this. But I'm not certain about this. So don't take my word for it. But if it does go down, then that means Bitcoin is going to be outperforming ETH. If it goes up, that means ETH is going to be outperforming Bitcoin. I think we're likely to get below these lows, though. But yeah, that's it from me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this comprehensive market analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, peace. Oh, wait, one thing before we end the video. If you guys are looking to learn more about liquidity from me directly, then I have a few programs that you guys can learn through. So one, there are many lectures that I have done, and that you can buy a recording of them. It's an 1.5-hour lecture. You can buy the recording of them. It's $50 per lecture, and you actually gain a lot of knowledge. It's very, very comprehensive. You can ask my students. They are, most of them, if not all of them, are very happy and satisfied with their purchase. Then you can also book a one-on-one with me. I charge $125 per hour right now, It might go up in the future. And then I also have a 5-week coaching program where we do a 1-hour session every week for 5 weeks, and by the end of it, you will have a profitable trading model through liquidity. Now, if any of those interest you, then go ahead and shoot me a DM, OpSecFX on Telegram. I'll leave that in the description. But yeah, other than that, peace.